Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Rage and Mythology. My name is Jarrell Como. I'll be going by JD on this channel, and I am so happy that you're joining me today. I'm a little nervous, to be honest. It's my very first video on YouTube ever, so I'm really excited, and please join me on this ride. So the way Rage and Mythology works is that I'll be telling you different stories from different cultural backgrounds. Mythology, legends, lore, folklore, fairy tale, the works, while playing video games. But for the very first episode, I will be keeping it fairly familiar with something that we all know, and that's a Greek mythology. And I'll be telling you the story of Psyche and Eros. The story of Psyche and Eros begins in a kingdom far, far away, and where there are three beautiful princesses. But of the three beautiful princesses, the most beautiful princess named is Psyche. Now, Psyche is gorgeous. So gorgeous that her suitors come from far and wide just to see her. Not to like suit her, just to see her. The problem is that she's so beautiful that people stop worshiping Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, and start worshiping Psyche. Now, Psyche is now in the doghouse because Aphrodite didn't like this. So Aphrodite went to her son, Eros, who was like, hey, this girl has gotten too big for her britches. I need you to go and shoot her with an arrow and make her fall in love with the most hideous guy that you find. Eros was like, okay, mom. Now, for further background, Eros is also known as Cupid, right? The little, the whole baby with the arrow. Of course, he doesn't actually look like a baby. If he did, that would make this... that would make the story so much creepier. It's supposed to be going somewhere. I need you to push. There you go. So Eros goes to the kingdom to find Psyche. When he finds her, he shows up in a room. It's night, she's sleeping. So when he sees her, he's like, wow, this is the most beautiful woman in the world. Well, gotta stab her. So as he's like getting out his arrow to like shoot her with it, he stabs himself on his own arrow and falls in love with Psyche. Raise it high. Can you raise it high and hit the target? I'm not... Okay. Obviously I can't aim. I don't even need to do that. I'm so stupid. So stupid. Now, this could be either a good thing or a bad thing for Psyche, but at the time, it was a bad thing. Because what Eros did after that is that he made it to where no one would fall in love with Psyche. And this was a problem, because no one knew that Eros loved Psyche except for Eros. So the king thought something must be wrong. No one is marrying my daughter. So the sisters are being really mean about it because they're jealous of Psyche. And they, at this point, have already gotten married to their husbands. They're over there like, yo, Psyche, you truly are the most beautiful in the land. But you sing with. So the dad, being worried, goes and sees the Oracle of Delphi. Now, the Oracle of Delphi is being possessed by Apollo. And so the oracle, being possessed by Apollo, tells the dad, hey, the reason why your daughter is not getting any suitors is because some beast with wings has fallen in love with your daughter and wants to take her for himself. He tells them, put your daughter in a wedding dress and leave her by the cliff, and then the rest will take care of itself. I should tell you that at this point in time, Apollo does not like Eros. The reason why he doesn't like Eros is because Eros refuses to make anybody fall in love with Apollo. Why? That's a story for another time. The dad listens to Apollo. He's really upset about it. He doesn't want to do it because he's just like, oh my gosh, my daughter's going to die. But because it was a god telling him to do it, he just went and did it. Psyche is just like, well, never going to find true love. Going to get married to a beast. Gonna die. It is what it is. She was less upset than her father, which I am still confused about. She goes to the cliff. She stands there. The winds sweep her away, and she's never seen from again. until later on into the story. Can you... Thank you. So after Psyche is whisked away, she shows up in a field. And this field is a gorgeous field with the greenery and flowers and trees and everything. And in the middle of the field is a castle. And she was like, okay, well, I'll go there. She shows up there, and there's servants there waiting for her. And they began to wait on her left and right. They give her food, they help her bathe, they all do all these things for her. And this goes on for a couple of days. Eventually, Psyche is wondering, okay, where's my husband? I haven't seen him. It's been a couple of days that I've been here, but I haven't seen him. And the servants are like, he'll be here. He'll be here tonight. You'll see him. Everything is okay. Just relax. You'll see him tonight. He's been showing up at night, but he's been leaving so early in the morning that she hasn't been able to see him. And of course, she goes to bed before he shows up. So she waits for him this time, and they begin talking. Now it's too dark, and Psyche can't see his face. But she doesn't want to ask him what he looks like because, of course, she's been told this entire time that he's a monster-looking beast. So they get to talking. They like each other. And, they begin the romance. Oh, they're fire bats. Do I go left or do I go... I came over here thinking that this was the way. Now I have no clue where to go. So do I wait on this to go down? Oh, yeah. Oh, cool. So, after they finish romancing, they go to bed. Of course, Eros, again, he leaves early in the morning before she gets up, and so she can't get up early in time to see what he looks like. Now, this goes on for a couple of days, where he shows up at night, she can't see his face, they romance, they talk, they go to bed, she wakes up, he's gone. And she's like, okay, I really want to know what he looks like, but I haven't had the chance to figure out what he looks like. And so she says, I'm just going to ask him. Now, you think this would be a reasonable request, right? Apparently not. So she went to him and she was like, hey, it's been dark. I haven't been able to see your face. Would you mind if I, saw what you look like? Eros was like, what? No, you don't need to see my face. What you mean? She is married to you. And she doesn't know what you look like. Like, why can't she see his face? And he says that since I have given you everything you can ever need, our love should be enough. You don't need to see my face. I'm going to drop this while I'm here for any of you who are in dating apps. If they don't show their face, you don't need to be messing with them. Leave them alone. Psyche doesn't have a choice, but you do. So Psyche leaves it alone, to make him feel better. She leaves it alone. But, of course, one day she's missing home. She hasn't been home in a couple of months. She really wants to see her family. So he asks Eros, she says, hey, is it okay if I go home and see my family? Now, Eros, in his mind, he's thinking, okay, well, if I let her go home and she comes back, that means she really loves me. So he says yes. When she shows up at home, everybody is happy and excited that she's still alive because, of course, they were told that she was going to be killed. She's excitedly telling people about her new life. She's telling her about the beautiful home, the beautiful fields, her husband, how nice he treats her and everything, and how she has everything she could possibly need. Here comes her sisters again. Sis, no pics, no proof. If you want, I don't believe you. You want us to believe you, you need to show us this place. So Psyche was just like, yeah, I'll show you, let's go. So they go to the cliff, get whisked away by the winds, and they show up at the place. Now, the sisters are mad because Psyche was telling the truth. It's a beautiful place, it's a beautiful castle, and so the sisters are mad about it because their sister, the most beautiful, who was supposed to get married to this beast and die, is actually living a better life than they're living. with their husbands. Oh, blessings. That was scary. So the sisters made up in their mind, let's mess with her. So they decided to remind her. They says, yes, you have a beautiful life. You have a beautiful garden. You have a beautiful castle. But your husband is still a monster, and he's supposed to kill you. So you should keep that in mind, that the only way for you to escape your fate of dying is for you to kill your husband. Psyche is thinking about this, saying, well, he's been nothing but good to me so far. Why would I do this? Later, it really starts to psych her out. That night, she pretends to be asleep. Eros comes in. He sees that she's asleep and goes to bed. Now God. Throat. Okay. Okay. I am dying. And I have my heart's back. Am I just gonna die here? I think I'm gonna die, guys. I think I'm gonna die. So Psyche pretends to be asleep. And when she's pretending to be asleep, Eros shows up. And because she's asleep, he says, okay, well, I'm just gonna go to bed. So he falls asleep. Now when he falls asleep, she gets up and she go grabs a lamp, she go grabs a knife. Now while she's walking over to, do the deed, stab him, she sees his face and realizes he's not a monster and he's gorgeous. But at this point, it's too late, because then he wakes up and sees her with the knife and sees her with the lamp, and he says, I only asked one thing, that you don't look at my face. Not only are you looking at my face, but you're also preparing to kill me, so obviously you don't love me. He gets up, goes out the window, flies away. Now, since there's basically nothing there left for Psyche, she just decides to go home. She's very distraught, she's very sad. But the sisters, again, the toxic sisters that they are, they decided, well, they did their job. But not only did they do their job, they're going to reap the rewards. Now, I don't know where the sisters got in their head that if Psyche's relationship failed, then they would be able to switch lives. So after Psyche came back, the sisters went to the cliff to be whisked away by the winds, and they jumped off the cliff. But no wind came, and so they fell to their death. And that's the end of their story. So some time has passed, and Psyche decided that she was going to go work in the Temple of Demeter. Now, after working there for a while, Demeter noticed how hard of a worker that Psyche was. So she decided to give her some advice. She told her, you should go to the Temple of Aphrodite, and you should call on Aphrodite and ask for her forgiveness. Now, keep in mind, Psyche hadn't really done anything wrong. Aphrodite is just really jealous of her, but that doesn't matter to the gods, because the gods just think that they're always right. So do I leave it alone? Or do I throw a bomb at it? Oh no, I'm going to keep going. But I need a bomb for that. I can't really go anywhere else if I... How am I supposed to... I'm so confused. Okay, while I'm trying to figure this out. So Psyche go to Aphrodite's temple to ask for forgiveness. Now, being the petty person that Aphrodite is, she says, I won't forgive you unless you complete these tasks for me. And so she gives us all these tasks. But the catch about these tasks is that every single one of these tasks are designed to kill Psyche. Aphrodite is the only one who doesn't like Psyche. She's the only one who's trying to kill her. All the other gods feel pity for her, and so they decide to help her out. Psyche completes all of her tasks because all the other gods help her out. Zeus helps her out. Eros helps her out secretly. He doesn't let her know that he's helping her, but he does it in secret. And so she passed basically all of the tests and gets all of the tasks done. I can only get that if I have a bomb. But I can't run with the bomb. Like, I blow myself up. How am I supposed to do this? Because I have to blow this up. There's nowhere else around. I went through all of the other paths. Man, do this. I might be stupid. I might be. So Aphrodite decides that in a last-ditch effort to try to get rid of Psyche, that she's going to send her to the underworld. And she specifically says, "You have exhausted my beauty, and so I need more. I need you to go to the underworld and get more beauty from Queen Persephone." Now, any trip to the underworld is treacherous. You have to deal with Cerberus, you have to deal with the River Styx, you have to deal with like all the other like ghosts and dead people trying to like get at you because you have life, or trying to cling on to you so they can like leave or whatever. Like it's not a fun time. But she gets advice from Eros on how to get through the underworld. Again, he does it in secret, so he doesn't know that it's him helping her. And so she follows the advice. And so she gets through the underworld successfully and shows up at Queen Persephone's doorstep. Now, Queen Persephone is like, "Who are you?" And she says, "I'm a maiden of Aphrodite." And she's like, "What do you want?" And she says, "Aphrodite sent me here to give some of your beauty." And so Persephone is like, "Okay." And so she goes and gets a box and puts some of her beauty in it and then gives it to Psyche so that she can take it back. It was that easy. It was that easy. Like, you thought that with all of this struggle getting to her, that it would be a little bit harder to get it, but it wasn't. It was that easy. Keep in mind, Eros told Psyche, "Do not look in the box." Like, do not look in the box. So when she gives you her beauty, don't look at it. Don't open it. Don't do anything. Leave it alone. And so Psyche was being pretty good about it. She got past Cerberus again, and she was going across the River of Styx, and she got off the boat and was getting ready to leave. But while she was on the boat, she looked into the water and saw that she looked awful. She said, "I look tired. There's no way Eros is going to love me if he like sees me like this." So she says, "I'm just going to take a little peek and grab some of that beauty for myself. Things of the gods are not meant for mortals." And so she opened the box, and a black mist came out and went into her body, and it was too much. It was too much for her. So she started to die. I meant to throw it. I didn't mean to roll it. Pick it up and throw it. There should be bombs up here. Don't pick it up. Leave it alone. I have no clue what to do. There's like bomb arrows in random places. There's like not enough time to... I swear I have to go back to the spot. And now I got a heart container. And it's still not telling me where I need to go. No. Take it. I got it. No. Ooh. You didn't warn me fast enough. After she inhaled the black sludge that was in that box, Eros could like literally feels that something was wrong with her. So he went down to the underworld to help her. And when he got there, he saw that she was unconscious. He uses his godly powers to take the sludge out of her. And when he takes the slip out of her, he like stares at her and she's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful and she's my wife. I can't be mad at her. She wakes up and sees him and she's like, oh my gosh, my husband. And they stare into each other's eyes and they kiss, the most loving kiss you will ever know. So she says, hey, I would love to stay here with you, but I have to finish this job. He says, okay. So she goes, takes the box. She finishes her journey. She goes back to the temple of Aphrodite and she gives her the box. She says, hey, I love your son. I really want to be with him. Now, at this point, Aphrodite doesn't know that the gods have been helping Psyche the entire time. So she's just like, how is she not dead? This entire time, she's like, how do you keep surviving? Aphrodite is basically like, look, you survived this entire time. I've been trying to kill you. You have my respect. You can date my son. After Psyche leaves Eros there, Eros goes to Olympus and he talks to Zeus. He's like, hey, can you give me permission to marry Psyche? Like, do I have your blessing? I really want to marry her. And of course, Zeus, he already loves Psyche. He's like, dope, marry her. I give you my blessing. So with Zeus's blessing and with Aphrodite's blessing, they get together, they get married. Now, we all know that gods are immortal and humans aren't. So at some point, they were like, well, if we get married, there's a chance that you might die. And I don't know if I can handle that. So Zeus says, it's a non-issue. What we're going to do is that we're going to give her ambrosia. Ambrosia is the food of the gods. And when she eats it, she becomes immortal. And so they have a whole wedding ceremony. It's beautiful. They get married. They live happily ever after. Alright friends, that's it for this one. I wish you could have seen me play a little more of this game. But I'm stupid and I got stuck. But I'm glad you joined me on this first episode of Raisin Mythology. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the story. I know this will be posting on a Monday, but my plan is to post on every Thursday. So there will actually be another video coming out this week on this Thursday as well. So tune in for that. Thank you for your time. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe and even hit the notification bell so when another video of mine posts, you'll be first to see it. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.